Welcome to Smart Interview Prep channel. In this channel you will learn about basic interview question of different topics. Stay touch with us.
Question number 01. What are the primary differences between a gas generator and a diesel generator? Answer. Gas generators typically run on natural gas or propane, while diesel generators utilize diesel fuel. Gas generators are generally more environmentally friendly with lower emissions but may have higher fuel costs compared to diesel generators. Question number 02. How do you determine the appropriate size of a gas generator or diesel generator for a specific application? Answer. The size of a generator is determined by the power requirements of the equipment it will be powering. Factors such as load size, duration of operation, and any additional equipment requirements should be considered when sizing a generator. Question number 03. What safety measures should be taken when operating a gas generator or diesel generator? Answer. Safety measures include proper ventilation to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning, regular maintenance to prevent fuel leaks, and following manufacturer guidelines for operation and maintenance. Question number 04. What maintenance tasks are typically required for gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Maintenance tasks may include regular oil and filter changes, spark plug replacement for gas generators, fuel filter replacement for diesel generators, and periodic inspection of belts and hoses. Question number 05. Can gas generators and diesel generators be used interchangeably in all applications? Answer. While both types of generators can provide power, their suitability for specific applications depends on factors such as fuel availability, emissions regulations, and operational requirements. Question number 06. How do you troubleshoot common issues with gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Troubleshooting may involve checking fuel levels, inspecting spark plugs or glow plugs, verifying battery connections, and examining electrical components such as alternators and voltage regulators. Question number 07. What are the advantages and disadvantages of using gas generators over diesel generators, and vice versa? Answer. Gas generators typically have lower emissions and are quieter but may have higher fuel costs and lower efficiency compared to diesel generators, which are more fuel efficient but produce higher emissions and noise levels. Question number 08. How do you ensure proper storage of fuel for gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Proper fuel storage includes using approved containers, storing fuel in a well-ventilated area away from ignition sources, and adding fuel stabilizers to prevent degradation over time. Question number 09. Can gas generators and diesel generators be connected in parallel to increase power output? Answer. Yes, gas generators and diesel generators can be connected in parallel to increase power output, but it requires careful synchronization to prevent damage to equipment and ensure stable power supply. Question number 10. What are the key components of a gas generator and a diesel generator? Answer. Key components include the engine, alternator, fuel system, cooling system, exhaust system, control panel, and safety features such as automatic shutdown mechanisms in case of emergencies. Question number 11. How does the efficiency of gas generators compare to diesel generators? Answer. Generally, diesel generators tend to be more fuel efficient than gas generators, especially under heavy loads and for continuous operation. However, the efficiency can vary based on factors such as engine design, load profile, and maintenance practices. Question number 12. What are the environmental impacts associated with gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Gas generators typically produce fewer emissions than diesel generators, including lower levels of particulate matter and nitrogen oxides. However, both types of generators can have environmental impacts related to fuel extraction, transportation, and combustion. Question number 13. What safety precautions should be followed during the installation of gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Safety precautions include ensuring proper grounding, following electrical code requirements, providing adequate ventilation, and installing appropriate exhaust systems to prevent the buildup of toxic gases. Question number 14. How do you calculate the runtime of a gas generator or diesel generator based on fuel capacity and load? Answer. The runtime can be calculated by dividing the fuel capacity, in gallons or liters, by the fuel consumption rate, in gallons or liters per hour, at the specified load. This calculation provides an estimate of how long the generator can run before requiring refueling. Question number 15. What are the typical noise levels generated by gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Gas generators tend to produce less noise compared to diesel generators, but both can generate significant noise levels during operation. The noise level depends on factors such as engine size, exhaust system design, and surrounding environmental conditions. Question number 16. How do you determine the appropriate location for installing a gas generator or diesel generator? Answer. The location should be well ventilated, easily accessible for maintenance, and comply with local regulations regarding setback distances, noise levels, and emissions. Factors such as proximity to buildings, fuel storage areas, and electrical loads should also be considered. Question number 17. What are the typical maintenance intervals for gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Maintenance intervals vary depending on factors such as operating hours, environmental conditions, and manufacturer recommendations. However, routine maintenance tasks such as oil changes, filter replacements, and inspections should be performed regularly to ensure optimal performance and reliability. Question number 18. Can gas generators and diesel generators be used for standby power applications? Answer. Yes, both gas generators and diesel generators are commonly used for standby power applications, providing backup power in the event of grid outages or emergencies. However, the suitability of each type depends on factors such as fuel availability, emissions regulations, and load requirements. Question number 19. How do you assess the total cost of ownership for gas generators versus diesel generators? Answer. Total cost of ownership includes initial purchase price, installation costs, fuel expenses, maintenance costs, and any regulatory compliance costs. By comparing these factors over the expected lifespan of the generator, you can determine which option offers the best value for your specific application. Question number 20. What are the key differences in the starting mechanisms for gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Gas generators typically use spark ignition systems similar to those found in gasoline-powered engines, while diesel generators use compression ignition systems where fuel is ignited by high pressure and temperature generated during compression. These differences impact starting reliability, cold weather performance, and maintenance requirements. Question number 21. How do you mitigate the risk of fuel contamination in gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. To mitigate fuel contamination, proper fuel storage practices should be followed, including using clean containers, implementing filtration systems, and periodically testing fuel quality. Additionally, regular maintenance, such as fuel filter replacement, helps prevent contamination from reaching the engine. Question number 22. What are the considerations when selecting between a standby generator and a prime power generator for gas and diesel generators? Answer. Standby generators are designed for backup power during grid outages and typically operate intermittently, while prime power generators are intended for continuous operation as the primary power source. Considerations include load profile, runtime requirements, and regulatory compliance. Question number 23. How do you assess the voltage stability of gas generators and diesel generators under varying loads? Answer. Voltage stability can be assessed by monitoring voltage fluctuations during load changes and ensuring that the generator's voltage regulation system maintains voltage within acceptable limits. Regular testing and calibration of voltage regulators are essential for optimal performance. Question number 24. What measures can be taken to extend the service life of critical components in gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Measures include implementing a comprehensive maintenance schedule, conducting regular inspections, using high-quality replacement parts, ensuring proper lubrication, and monitoring operating conditions to detect potential issues early. Question number 25. What role do control systems play in the operation of gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Control systems monitor various parameters such as voltage, frequency, temperature, and load, and they regulate engine speed, fuel injection, and other functions to ensure optimal performance, efficiency, and safety. Thanks for watching my video, friends. Wait for our next video tutorials. Still then, bye-bye. Question number 26. How do you assess the suitability of gas generators and diesel generators for use in remote or off-grid locations? Answer. Considerations include fuel availability, transportation logistics, environmental conditions, maintenance requirements, and regulatory compliance. Hybrid systems combining generators with renewable energy sources may also be considered for off-grid applications. Question number 27. What are the potential consequences of overloading a gas generator or diesel generator? Answer. Overloading can lead to overheating, increased fuel consumption, decreased efficiency, accelerated wear on components, and potential damage to the generator. It can also compromise safety and reliability, leading to equipment failure or malfunction. Question number 28. How do you ensure compliance with emissions regulations when operating gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Compliance involves selecting generators that meet or exceed emissions standards, implementing emission control technologies such as catalytic converters or exhaust after-treatment systems, and adhering to operational guidelines specified by regulatory authorities. Question number 29. What factors influence the decision between renting or purchasing gas generators and diesel generators for temporary power needs? Answer. Factors include the duration of the power requirement, upfront capital investment, maintenance responsibilities, and availability of rental options, logistical considerations, and financial constraints. Question number 30. How do you evaluate the reliability and durability of gas generators and diesel generators for critical infrastructure applications? Answer. Evaluation involves assessing factors such as the reputation of the manufacturer, product certifications, warranty coverage, service and support availability, past performance in similar applications, and feedback from other users or industry experts. Question number 31. What are the key differences in the combustion processes between gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Gas generators use spark ignition, where a spark plug ignites the air-fuel mixture, while diesel generators use compression ignition, where fuel is ignited by the high temperature and pressure generated during compression. Question number 32. How does the power output of gas generators and diesel generators vary with altitude and ambient temperature? Answer. Gas generators typically experience a decrease in power output at higher altitudes due to reduced air density, while diesel generators may maintain more consistent performance but could experience reduced power output in extremely cold temperatures due to thicker fuel viscosity. Question number 33. What considerations should be taken into account when integrating gas generators or diesel generators into an existing power distribution system? Answer. Considerations include compatibility with existing infrastructure, synchronization requirements, load-sharing capabilities, and protection measures to prevent backfeeding or overloading of circuits. Question number 34. Can gas generators and diesel generators be operated in parallel with renewable energy sources such as solar or wind power? Answer. Yes, gas generators and diesel generators can be integrated into hybrid power systems with renewable energy sources. Advanced control systems are used to manage power generation from multiple sources and ensure stability and reliability of the system. Question number 35. What are the typical startup times for gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Gas generators generally have shorter startup times compared to diesel generators, as they do not require the same level of preheating or warm-up periods. However, specific startup times can vary depending on factors such as engine size and configuration. Question number 36. How do you assess the suitability of gas generators and diesel generators for use in harsh environmental conditions such as extreme temperatures or corrosive atmospheres? Answer. Assessment involves considering factors such as engine cooling capabilities, corrosion-resistant materials, cold weather starting features, and the availability of optional accessories such as weatherproof enclosures or engine block heaters. Question number 37. What measures can be taken to minimize the impact of voltage and frequency fluctuations during load changes in gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Measures include implementing automatic voltage regulators, AVRs, and governors to adjust engine speed and fuel supply in response to load variations, as well as ensuring proper sizing and design of the generator to handle transient loads effectively. Question number 38. How do you determine the appropriate sizing of fuel storage tanks for gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Sizing considerations include fuel consumption rates, anticipated runtime requirements, refueling logistics, and regulatory requirements for spill containment and environmental protection. Question number 39. What are the main challenges associated with integrating gas generators and diesel generators into microgrid systems? Answer. Challenges include coordinating the operation of multiple generators with variable renewable energy sources, managing power quality and stability, implementing control strategies for islanded operation, and ensuring seamless transitions between grid-connected and standalone modes. Question number 40. How do you assess the economic feasibility of retrofitting existing diesel generators with dual fuel capabilities to run on natural gas? Answer. Assessment involves evaluating factors such as the cost of retrofitting, potential fuel savings, availability and cost of natural gas supply, emissions reduction benefits, and any regulatory incentives or mandates promoting the use of cleaner fuels. Question number 41. What are the primary factors that influence the fuel efficiency of gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Fuel efficiency is influenced by factors such as engine design, combustion technology, load profile, operating conditions, and maintenance practices. Question number 42. How do you ensure proper ventilation for gas generators and diesel generators to prevent overheating and ensure optimal performance? Answer. Proper ventilation involves providing adequate airflow around the generator to dissipate heat generated during operation, as well as ensuring proper intake and exhaust ventilation to prevent the buildup of exhaust gases. Question number 43. What are the common fuel delivery systems used in gas generators and diesel generators, and how do they impact engine performance? Answer. Common fuel delivery systems include carburetors for gas generators and fuel injection systems for diesel generators. Fuel delivery systems impact engine performance by controlling fuel-air mixture ratios, combustion efficiency, and power output. Question number 44. How do you calculate the total cost of ownership for gas generators and diesel generators over their operational lifespan? Answer. Total cost of ownership includes initial purchase cost, installation expenses, fuel costs, maintenance and repair costs, downtime costs, and disposal or decommissioning expenses at the end of the generator's life. Question number 45. What role do load banks play in testing and maintaining gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Load banks simulate electrical loads to test generator performance, verify capacity, and ensure proper operation under various load conditions. They also help in exercising the generator and preventing issues associated with underloading. Question number 46. What are the key differences in the exhaust emissions between gas generators and diesel generators, and how are these emissions regulated? Answer. Gas generators typically produce lower emissions of nitrogen oxides, NOx, and particulate matter compared to diesel generators. Emissions are regulated by government agencies through emission standards and regulations such as EPA tier ratings. Question number 47. How do you determine the appropriate frequency of maintenance tasks for gas generators and diesel generators? Answer. Maintenance frequency is determined based on factors such as manufacturer recommendations, operating hours, environmental conditions, and the criticality of the application. Regular inspections and condition monitoring help identify maintenance needs. Question number 48. What measures can be taken to reduce noise levels generated by gas generators and diesel generators in residential or noise-sensitive areas? Answer. Measures include using sound attenuating enclosures, installing noise barriers, employing mufflers and silencers, implementing vibration isolation mounts, and selecting quieter generator models. Question number 49. How do you assess the reliability and durability of gas generators and diesel generators for long-term operation in industrial or commercial settings? Answer. Assessment involves evaluating factors such as the quality of construction, reliability of components, historical performance data, warranty coverage, and customer reviews or testimonials. Question number 50. What are the main considerations when selecting between stationary and portable gas generators or diesel generators for temporary power needs? Answer. Considerations include power output requirements, mobility and portability needs, fuel availability and storage, ease of installation and setup, environmental regulations, and budget constraints. Thanks for watching my video, friends. Wait for our next video tutorials. Still then, bye bye.